Hi guys.
Hi guys. It's Adria and Brandon, and today we're going to be talking a bit about mental health and our relationship and stuff like that. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any topics of conversation or questions that you would like us to answer, and just kind of talking about it in general, because I don't think we've ever done a mental health video together, so thought that would be interesting. Haza, I don't know how to say that. Has mental health issues negatively impacted your relationship? I love you so much.
No.
I think we have negative days because of me and mental health things, but I don't think that overall it's made the relationship negative.
I just put her in a closet.
He locks me in the
closet.
closet.
Some type of way, I just put her away for a little bit.
Echo Kinley asks, how does Brandon help you through your anxiety, depression? I love you so much. I love you too. How do you think you do?
Is this not my interview? I don't know what I do.
That's what I was just about to say. I don't even think Brandon realizes that he's doing anything half the time. I think he kind of just does what he knows what to do, kind of just because he loves me.
That was a good example. That's terrible.
It's hard to explain. I wish you would explain it.
Positive reinforcement and good food.
Oh yeah, food always helps.
Food always helps. Tell her everything will be okay and all that stuff. You just kind of gotta be there.
He'll just sit and listen if I just want to go off on a rant and just kind of let everything out. And he kind of just, he's not like, oh, well, you should do this. No, don't say that, don't think that. He kind of just sits and listens, which I think is important.
Because you bottle it up.
Yeah, I bottle everything up and then I just explode. So, if two people in a relationship have mental health problems, how do you keep the relationship and yourself happy while your partner is feeling down? And what's the best course of action to help them when they're down?
Oof, two people.
I can only speak from a past experience where I was in a relationship with somebody who wasn't mentally stable, and I can just say it didn't work out for me. I mean, I feel like if that were me now, it would be kind of different because I have more of an understanding about what I go through, but back then I was kind of just all over the place. That's like if you're trying to lose weight and so is your partner, that's like saying oh yeah, lose weight as you're sitting there stuffing your face with food. Yeah. I mean, you have to be an example for them, better yourself for yourself, basically.
Yeah, miss. Let's get some Oreos. That's what I got out of that.
No, but I was giving a metaphor.
Practice what you preach.
Oh my god.
That's all I'm going to say with that one. Let's have salad. And then we're eating all this and she's like, sorry, Brandon, we're getting cheesecake.
I was using food as a metaphor for mental health.
Bread.
You know what? Garlic bread is delicious.
I'm not saying it's not.
Siennaville asks how you cope with anxiety and depression every day. How do you deal with it in everyday life? I think that there's days I deal with it better than others. It's kind of nice when you're in a relationship with somebody that kind of understands everything like Brandon does with me. I don't really have to explain to him how I feel. If I'm just having an off day and just be I don't feel like doing anything today, and he kind of just gets it.
I know when those days are.
Madeline Smith asks, does Brandon go through the same thing? Do you guys ever talk about it with each other? Brandon doesn't go through the same things.
I have one emotion.
And what's your one emotion?
Monotone.
I mean, you have a bit of the social anxiety
I have that,
do.
But, and
I think to a degree I'm kind of glad that he does like I do, because it makes things a lot easier to explain. Boyfriends I've had in the past, they'd be like, oh, let's go to this party, you can meet all my friends, and I would just be like, Brandon, I don't have to explain how that grosses me out, or I'm just there would have to be a movie on the TV.
Oh, movie. Oh, please,
and
not sports.
Tons of food.
Oh, a lot of food and a dog.
And no sports.
If there's video games, I can do that. Sports, no. I love football. Ugh.
Maki Danny asked, did you guys ever have doubts that the relationship would work? Love you guys.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like when?
Well, sometimes when Adria, she'll get in a mood and she's just like, oh, Brandon, you're too good for me. Just leave me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like...
And that kind of brings me to what inspired this whole video, because my mom was telling me oh, you should make a video about what anxiety and depression is like for somebody that lives with somebody with it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I could really do that because I only know it from one side. That's why I wanted to do this with Brandon, and like, so.
Yeah, because she doesn't know the perspective of being around somebody that has it.
I mean, I do with my sisters and stuff, but I mean, I also deal with it too. So it's like, I don't know what it's like to live with somebody without having to go through it yourself.
And she like even brought it up that it was a thing, like it affects her and all that.
When I got off the phone with my mom, like I was like crying and I kind of shut down because it's something that I do think about like all the time.
And when somebody actually mentions it, it's like, oof.
Because I constantly think about how I am, how it affects Brandon, how it affects my family, and like how I don't want them to constantly worry about me. And so like when my mom brought that up, I'm just like, so when I say to Brandon, like, oh, like, just leave me, you're too good for me, it's like a feeling of guilt where you feel like your problems really affect the other person, and so I feel like I'd rather Brandon not have to deal with my problems. So
I'm not going anywhere.
You said like if you got like severely injured, you wouldn't want me to stay with you, but I was like, no. I would, because I love you, and that's like what you do for people that you love. Their burdens don't matter.
Rot.
You want to rot, like in the ground?
If I was a vegetable.
I still want
I just want to be like a
vegetable.
rotten vegetable and you throw in the trash.
Oh my gosh, the friggin' tomatoes. We had like week old tomatoes, or no, they were like, that was like
maybe
2-3
weeks. They were in the back of the fridge, and I was like, let's smell these.
Alright, this is a good question. SkaterGator04 asks, how does Brandon help you when you're feeling depressed or you're having an anxiety attack?
Why are you asking me?
I wanted to
Why are
see
you asking me?
I'm not asking you, I'm kind of just looking at you.
Why are you looking at me? Look at the audience when they ask you a question.
Oh.
Do not expect me to answer a question that's directed towards you.
Well, I want you to I don't want to feel like I'm just answering everything. That's why you're here. I didn't want to do this without you.
You are just answering everything.
Well, chime in when you feel
I'm
the
chiming.
Okay. If I'm having like an anxiety attack, which is mostly like at night, he kind of just will like hold me until I stop. I don't really know how to explain it. You kind of just do what you feel like you have to do.
I have like a good sense about that kind of stuff though.
I don't know, just like an instinct.
Yeah, just like I know when you put me on speakerphone and you play The Sims. Just like I can tell when you're playing The Sims when you're talking
But
to me.
how can you tell that I'm playing The Sims? Anna Phillips asks, do you have any tips to help you feel more happy when you feel bad? And don't say Oreos.
Oh, just always eat. I feel like just, even just like forcing a smile helps out a little bit. Even when you just have a fake smile on your face, it just makes you feel a little better.
It does.
Just take a breath and just think about stuff. Like when I get overwhelmed or whatever, it's just, like I have to cool off and just think about everything, and then, I don't know. I'm weird, but...
You're cute.
Yeah, I feel all hot and sweaty now. I said too many words.
And what I've learned is to never make decisions out of emotion. Wait till you calm down, wait till you feel better to really think logically about stuff, because it's really easy to make a spontaneous decision in an emotional moment. IGW1010 asks, is anxiety/depression a difficult subject to talk about together? Love you so much, E.
No.
No,
I'm pretty used to it
not.
now. Even at first it wasn't really. I knew what I was getting myself into for the most part.
Even when we first met, we never like had problems talking about stuff like that together. We click. What's this? We click.
That's scissoring. That's what that is.
I'm dead. Sophie Driscoll asks, how has OCD affected your relationship?
I mean, she doesn't have it bad.
No.
She just says little dumb things like if I leave the shower curtain open.
Oh, well, that's anybody.
God.
I don't think that's my OCD.
No. You lose your S.
I don't think you realize how bad my OCD used to be. I mean, I used to vacuum every single day.
I wish you would. This floor gets dirty. Alright, when you're walking on the sidewalk, the cracks...
You would count your footsteps in between each one?
No. And there's a car coming too. I had to get to the other one before that car got to me, or it would shoot a flippin' laser at me and kill me.
Alright, you're weird.
Oh, I wish I had stats of my entire life.
I know, me too! That would be awesome.
How many Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches have I had sponsored?
Jasmine Tipton asks, how do you both help each other through mental health issues?
It's one-way street.
I mean, but I feel like I try to encourage you to do things. I said, like, I wish you would go hang out with people.
Ew.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Don't even say that to me. I would never do that. This guy was telling me to go to a strip club. And he's like, we can just say we're at the fair. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
A Martin888 asks, did you ever have a problem having him take you seriously? Because the hardest part of my depression anxiety is that my partner just thinks I'm being a brat, being dramatic, because he's never experienced depression or anxiety. Well, we've never had that problem, but I mean, I've had that problem in the past. I can just say, like, when people are like that, it makes it double as hard. I mean, because, like, mental problems are as bad as it is, but when you have people that think you're just being a brat, you know, like, that doesn't help.
Force you against the wall and, like, yell at you, yell in your face, tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Shade.
That actually did happen to me. Like, there were people that just weren't understanding of it. Like, I hate to say, like, burn bridges with people and cut people off, but I mean, if people are going to be negative in that way and not I mean, I'm not saying people have to baby you and be like, oh, it's okay. But, you know, if they're going to be like, oh, you're a brat, you don't need that negativity in your life.
All you need is cash, money, and bitches.
Lexi is not bae asks if Brandon has ever experienced self-harm or depression or any type of mental health. If he has, did you know about it when you started dating? Did you know about your mental health?
I ripped my toenails off, kinda. That's not self-harm.
No, I don't think so.
It's just creamy picking off a juicy toenail. I know what I'm doing after this video.
No, Brandon knew early on about the things that I struggled with.
I remember in 2nd grade, I was plucking my hairline to look like Vegeta's from Dragon Ball Z, and my mom thought I was stressed, but I'm like, bitch, I'm just plucking my hairs out to look like
so
Vegeta.
Funny.
I was like plucking it now. It's like, I got it
You're
going
already
on.
there.
I'm halfway there. It's got a little more point going on there.
Awesome.
It's like, Mom, I'm just trying to look like Vegeta, son.
She thought you were stressed out.
She's like, you remember when you were so stressed and you were plucking out your hair? I'm like, I'm just trying to look like Vegeta.
That is so funny. Shelby Elizabeth says, hey Adria and Brandon, my question is, do y'all have any tips for talking openly about mental health in your relationship? A long time ago past relationship makes it very hard for me to speak my mind to my fiance whenever things become too much to handle. I always feel like he won't believe or understand, even though I know he's not judgmental.
Well, I mean, if it's your fiance, I feel like you should be open with them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're planning on that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are already like, you know.
Well, if he's already in the boat, I mean, throw some water in there. See if it sinks.
Test the waters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you said because a past relationship makes you feel like you can't. If you guys are engaged, then clearly there's nothing that you could say that would probably damage that anyway. And I can relate to feeling like what I say is like a burden, or like oh, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to upset him.
I mean, Adria poops with the door open, so
you know, don't be afraid to talk to your significant person.
Don't choke me, please.
Don't talk about me pooping with the door.
I felt a little bit of pressure on my neck. You don't want to not say anything about it, you know?
Yeah.
And just hold it in. That'd make it way worse.
Anna S123123 says, what do you think about taking medicine for depression and anxiety? Speaking from experience, like, I'm not one of those people that has a problem with it, but I definitely think, like, it's something to use to work to not have to take it, because you don't want to be on it forever. Kind of use it as, like, a tool to help you, to get you to where you need to be. I hurt my knee a while ago, and I was on crutches for, like, 6 months. That's kind of like an example where you kind of use that and you're not using it to help you get better. I was just dependent on them, and, you know, then I had to learn how to walk all over again. So you don't want medication to kind of debilitate you from doing things on your own. If it's something that you need in the moment, don't look at that as like a weakness. Just look at it as, you know, like, hey, this is just something I need right now, and hopefully not forever.
That was good.
That was good?
That was a good one.
You think?
What do you guys think? Comment below.
Pedro's Gem asks, best ways to deal with panic attacks.
Breathe slow.
Kind of do something mindless, like put on a movie or something, or, you know, kind of just have like background noise. Gem Lock says, how do you tell your parents you think you have depression? Thanks, Adria.
I just text them.
I mean, I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing, but
I feel like it's a lot easier to text something out like that. If you have trouble saying it.
Especially with depression, it's kind of hard to like say how you feel a lot of the time, so maybe sending them a text and then maybe taking it from there. I've written my mom letters about things that I felt like I couldn't tell her. Put them on her bed, waited for her to go to bed to see it, and then like in the morning we would talk about it. So like something like that could be good. Aaron P. Lover 9876, how do you let your parents know you self-harm without making them feel like they have failed as a parent?
That's all you.
Well, you can chime in.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just a sweaty fat boy.
I can't speak from a parent's perspective, obviously, but I hate to say it, but no matter what, I feel like parents are kind of gonna feel like that feeling of failure, that their kids are that sad that they do that. And that's not anything that you've done, you know, that's just like a parent's thing, you know, like when that's somebody that you love, you're just kind of like, oh, like where did I go wrong? Could I have prevented this? Blah, blah, blah. I think it's better to tell your parents about it rather than them finding out, because that's what happened to me. And I think that that's where my mom kind of got more upset about it than she probably could have if I had gone to her. Tell them before they have the chance to find out. Okay. Markiplier. Becca Mulehall asks, how would you let your mom know that your friend is self-harming and it's stressing you out? I have a friend who's very down right now and she resorted to self-harming, and I'm trying so hard to be the best friend I can to make sure she stays on track, but it's stressing me out so much. Please help.
Ooh, that sounds rough.
You don't want to feel like you dimed your friend out, but I would definitely tell somebody, because you don't want all that burden on you, especially if she ends up hurting herself badly to the point where she's like in the hospital. Then you're like, oh no, like I could have prevented this. So I would definitely tell your parents or somebody so that all of it doesn't fall on you. And you know, it's coming from a place of love and concern. It's not vindictive in any way. So the last question is from Kawaii ACNL, and she says, can you talk about shyness?
I was so like,
you thought it was a person?
Yeah, I'm like, who's Shyness?
From Inside Out? Oh no, that's sadness.
No, I was thinking like some Irish person. I'm like, who's Shyness? Shyness. I don't know what it is. Shyness.
You have a lot of experience with shyness.
Who?
You.
What do you mean? Not as shy as you. I crush it in public. I can fake it so good.
He embarrasses me at the grocery store.
That's to get the pressure off of me, though.
Yeah, you put it all on me.
I have to redirect it to her.
And he told somebody at the grocery store that I was looking at the manager's ass, and I'm just like,
that was the best thing ever.
I feel like we both kind of use like our sense of humor to get through it. I don't know, we have trouble being serious. Even making this video, I'm like, yeah, I think I've kind of learned to just use humor. You know what, Adria, I feel like you're never going to be a super serious, well-spoken, you know, not anxious person. Not. So it's like, you know, just work with what you got. Just be funny. Just find what works for you. If you're a funny person like Brandon and I think we are, just use that to, you know, and people like that. I like it when people are just like out and funny and just, you know, not afraid to be funny. And that's better than being like is what I used to do. So comedy helps you get through some awkward moments. That's it for this video. I hope you guys got something out of this. Anything you want to say in closing about mental health?
About our relationship and mental health? Just always be there for the person. I mean, don't give up on them just because they're struggling. I mean, throw them a floaty, make them some cookies. Just be there for them.
And I can say from my standpoint, I'll never stop trying in our relationship to be the best person that I can. See, I can be serious. You can't. As you can tell by Brandon, the way he is right now.
What do you mean?
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe down below if you're not already. I post videos 3 times a week.
Hopefully we're at 100,000 right now.
We're at like 99,550. If you want to see more mental health related videos, I'll have a playlist linked down below of other mental health videos I've done in the past. And you can go subscribe to Brandon's channel, Branarino.
I have like 5 videos.
We will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. Love you guys. Bye! makes noises. It goes.
I know what it is.
Do you know how to fix it? No. Shut up. Ew.
There it is.
Actually, from this side, it doesn't look that bad.
What
if
about
I'm being
from the
honest,
front?
from the front, oh, it looks terrible.
Toss their salad. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video.